Mary. Mary. Mary, 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 Mary. Man, the church is big on this, right? No matter your sect. What do we mean by church? What do we mean by church? If Mary is the church, right? The circle. And some people talk about the difference between like church and assembly. And those who are of the assemblies of God war against those who are of the church of God. Now this matters mathematically because there are churches which are kirkes, which are circles, and there are assemblies which are affine geometries. Thank you, Norman Wildberger. Essentially the Archimedes of the Aquarian age, which people won't realize for a couple hundred years. But I'm going to speak testimony to it now. Because what happened last time around is when people gave testimony, things got lost, right? Yeah. We're hoping this time it gets saved. And it's not a done deal. Because we think we upload this shit onto the internet and it's like saved in the cloud. Not realizing that the cloud is like sand, glass, silicone, preserved in a place, brought to us by men in rusty buckets, working on wires hung on wood, plastics, petrol, iron, mining, extraction of earth. The iron and clay, the iron and clay, the metal and clay, the twain shall never meet. Yet, though they shall never meet, we wish them betwixt. Mary. Mary is the church, the circle. The body is the assembly, the line. The Christ comes only when the circle and the line align. Circumspectually. Mary. The importance of Mary through time, right? We're talking about, because we talk about Christianity and for those who like deride the West and the warlike power of the West, like you're right. Like I'm not against you. Like you're right about the violence. You're right about the corruption. When we talk about God working in mysterious ways, that's what I'm here to try to explain. That's the purpose of my life. I have more than anyone has ever had, or rather, I have more than most have ever had. This morning, I had $11 to my name. This, you know, this evening I had several $100s more. Which makes me feel rich right now. You know, because I don't have to worry for 2 days. When I have to worry for 1 day, I'm really, really, really worried. But once I have 2 days in front of me, I feel a lot better, and I'm able to speak more from my heart, even in this altered state. Meaning, I've drank some beers. Boom, 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 boom. The thing about Meri, what's that movie called? Something like that. Is this. What I've been trying to get to is the whole bag, and this comes up a lot in, and please forgive my cultural ignorance. And please understand that from your perspective, from your culture, from your deep, rich knowledge from your culture, I understand that I look naive and ignorant, and I am. Please forgive me for that. But please see beyond the pale of that fog to recognize, sorry about that, to recognize that from the place of my ignorance, like, there is this, like, light or wisdom, and then I'm trying to work with you and fight for you. Like, I'm using the wrong words, like I get pieces wrong, right? But it's like a child drawing a picture of a house. So they'll have the rectangle with the triangle on top, and a couple rectangles with crosses for windows, and a box with a circle, a box for a body, a circle for a head, and a couple stick figures. So they'll draw the house, they'll draw a rectangle with a triangle on top, with a little rectangle for a chimney, maybe a couple squiggly lines for smokes, right? And that's a little kid's drawing of a house. And that little kid could draw people, little stick figures, being like, dancing, and it's like, that's a happy house. Or they could draw, like, dead body, X's over the eyes. They could draw little symbolic things, little kids. And you know if it's a good house or a bad house, right? And that's like a naive way of looking at things. Yet architectural drawings will never tell you the truth of that simple, moral, emotional truth. Empathetic, empathic, sympathetic, sympathetic. Like, you can look at a little kid's drawing as an adult or a little kid and get the gist, or the geist, or the spirit of the word, of the logos, of the pattern, of the portrayal, of the communication. Yet, as a child, or as a dumb, stupid adult like me, you could look at architectural drawings, like top-down architectural drawings, A 5-year-old child or a 50-year-old man could look at a little kid's shit ass drawing, even with like people represented in that drawing with either two fingers or 3 fingers or like 15 fingers, like even as ridiculous representationally as these drawings are, you know if it's happy or sad. When they draw a house with people inside, outside, with pets, with animals, depending on what they do with little itty bitty symbols of a child, we know if it's happy. We know in our hearts what they're saying. We know what it is. A shit ass little fucking 3-year-old drawing a picture of a house. It's like this weirdo fucking square with a black marker and like kind of a triangle and kind of like a horizon line or a grass line, you know, and this little fucking like a circle with another circle with a whoomp, and that's a cat, and then like another whoomp, and that's a dog, and it's like, and we get it. And we know what they're doing, and we either smile or we frown in those rare cases, you know. Rare only because they're rarely expressed, not because they rarely happen, or rather, they're rarely shared. But when we're looking top down from a God's eye view on an architectural drawing, which is more complete, more perfect, more exact, more this, more that, it's all the shit. It's got the numbers, it's got the reasons, it's got, you know. But from an everyday person looking at a top-down picture of an architectural drawing, if you aren't educated in that vernacular, you're not going to understand when you're looking at that top-down drawing what a door is. When you see that little line and a slight radius, like, you won't understand that's a door. It looks like a piece of fucking pizza. You won't know what it is. But when you look at the little kid drawing, you always know what it is. You always know what a little kid's saying. So they get all these like high-priced, you know, masters, doctorates in fucking psychology, philosophy, you know, whatever, of like, you know, picking apart little kids' drawings, child psychology. I mean, and it's all super important. But what's the lesson of it? That it like matters. Yet at the same time, in your heart, you know what that little kid drawing is. And if you look at a little kid's drawing and you don't understand it, you do. You do. You cannot look at a little kid's drawing and not understand it. It's built into your fucking psychology all the way down to the fucking bone, to the marrow, to the ether, to the dark matter, you know? I don't give a fuck if you're Galilean. I don't give a fuck if you're fucking, you know, Copernican, or, you know, I mean, Francis Bacon, you know. He's at this crux of where science and religion meet of all time. And like, he gave props to Galileo, but he didn't respect him, you know. Yet if he wasn't who he was, Galileo wouldn't be remembered as he is today. That's a paradox. We've got to deal with it. And I'm just trying to get to Meri, man. Fuck! I'll get there.